is up, guys? Patrick here at Spartansuppz.com with a supplement review on Core Fury X. This is a highly anticipated updated review on the original Core Fury Extreme. It's been through a few iterations. This is a major upgrade. We're definitely going to go over ingredients, effects, since it's a stimulant-based pre-workout. We'll go over some of the science, some of the geeky stuff, flavors, taste, mixability, and then I'll give you my feedback on the product as well. So let's not mess about, because this is quite a comprehensive pre-workout formula from Mr. Dougie Miller at Core Nutritionals. On screen now you're going to see one of these, a nutritional information panel minus my scribble notes for this year, Core Nutritionals Fury X. Now this is either a 1 or a 2 scoop formula, a 20 or a 40 serve. A lot of companies doing this now, makes it very easy to tailor your dosage to your particular needs. We are going to go for the big boy 2 scoop breakdown, because realistically that's what we're all doing. No one's stuffing around with 1 scoop. So in this particular product there is 20 serves, which is going to get you a 25.25 gram serve, which is like protein type scoop. So there is a lot of ingredients in this product. Core use all transparent labeling, which makes it very easy to break down what is in it. I have some notes added here. We're going to break down this. We're going to go rapid fire because some of these things are relatively straightforward and there's some sciencey ones. We're going to go deep on those. So kicking off with a little bit of vitamin C, which is going to help you absorb the ingredients better. It's also going to help to smooth out some of the caffeine. We've got a little bit of calcium in there. Honestly, not sure why that is in there. It may be a derivative of one of the other ingredients, I would suggest. Moving along to our L-Citrulline, 6 grams. This is L-Citrulline. There's 2 types, L-Citrulline and citrulline and malate. I personally prefer citrulline and malate because it has a better, a longer life in terms of pumps, the ability for it to boost nitric oxide over a longer period of time. But the dose of the L-Citrulline is very, very good. It's excellent at oxygenating blood cells to allow you for better muscular endurance, and it's got a great performance boosting element to it as well. That's what I like about this compound. Very effective, very common in pre-workouts now, and the dosing is very, very efficacious. Next up, we have some creatine monohydrate. Creatine mono, very proven, very effective, the most widely studied and proven ergogenic aid on the planet after caffeine. The dose is very effective. This is going to increase muscle power. What the creatine does is it turns used energy, or ADP, back into usable energy, which is ATP. So it loses a phosphate once you use energy, once you use it as energy, I should say. And what creatine does is reattaches that molecule, so it recycles energy for explosive lifting. Good addition, old school, but very effective, and also quite an economical ingredient as well. Next up, we've got 4 grams of HydroMax Glycerol. HydroMax is a trademark and patented ingredient that yields 65% active glycerol, which is a very, very high yield. 4 grams is a stupidly high dose, very, very high dose. What it is, it's a cell volumizer, and what's the most important part about this is it creates a phenomenon called hyperhydration. Hyper means like over, so it can overhydrate cells and they get really fat and plump. A hydrated cell is an effective functioning cell. When you have you're dehydrated, your cells do not work very effectively. Think hangover. That's going to be a relative term. If you have a hangover, the reason you move slow, it takes you an hour to get off your ass and do anything. Having a well-hydrated cell allows it to function much more effectively. It can take on other nutrients, get nice and plump, and it can absorb other nutrients for function like creatine, branched amino acids, and so on. So that is a ridiculously high dose, very effective one. It's going to give you real thick, swollen, juicy pumps as well. Moving along to this betaine nitrate as NO3T. So this is basically, as the name suggests, betaine bound to nitrates. Don't know the particular breakdown and ratio of this one, but betaine is very cool because it helps to increase muscle power. It works on a slightly different pathway to creatine, but they do work in synergism with one another. Great for improving muscular endurance as well. The notable omission from this formula is beta-alanine, because it is in ABC, called intra-workout. So this really forms the powerhouse of your performance boosting compounds. Really do like the benefits of betaine. The dose in here is fantastic. Very, very good, and it works to increase the NO3T version. It helps to increase nitric oxide production on a different pathway, so you've got a very comprehensive pump formula. Next up, it's some L-Tyrosine, 2 grams. It's not the acetyl L-Tyrosine, however, there is a whopping dose of it, so you are going to get great mental focus from that. In addition to that, you've got some choline bitartrate at 1 gram, very big dose, and a pretty good form of it. Some of the acetylcholines and so on work a little bit more effectively. However, because the dose is so good in there, you're getting quite a good dose anyway. Next up, we've got caffeine anhydrous at 350 milligrams. This is your fast-acting powerhouse when it comes to energy. Kicks in pretty quick. It's going to give you around 60-90 minutes of sort of like active life, which is a good time in terms of workout. The dose for most might be a little bit over the edge, so I would highly recommend starting out with half a serve, which will cover in the effect side of this. But 350 is a whopping dose. Performance boosting zone anywhere from like 150 to 350s on the upper limit. For most people, it gets a little bit overstimulation, but certainly plenty of it. Next up, we've got some methylliberine, more commonly known as dynamine, yielding 40%. It's 250 milligrams. So dynamine is a very cool, becoming quite a popular compound, and looks like a very promising ingredient. Increases mood and alertness, helps with central nervous system stimulation, has got some abilities to help increase the, hopefully I'm not mispronouncing this, it is cholinergic, which helps to increase the effectiveness of choline. So the dose of choline in there is going to be more effective, which helps with like memory retention and learning, which is going to help with not only with like mental focus and concentration while in your workout, but it's also going to help to learn those motor unit pathways so you can get better at it, and successive workouts are even better again. It's also a beta-2 stimulant, so it will help with the activation of those so you can increase the utilization of oxygen as well. So all in all, very cool, helps with dopamine receptor stimulation so you can have a more euphoric sort of sense of well-being. And the cool thing about the combination of the 3 stimulants really in here, being caffeine, dynamine and teacrine, they work on different sort of lives. Dynamine kicks in very fast, caffeine sort of follows that up, and teacrine follows that up, so you get a nice sort of like bell curve in terms of your alertness. If you are stimulant sensitive, do not take 2 scoops of this at once because you will have an anxiety attack almost straight away. But the 3 do work in synergism with one another, and they work on sort of slightly different pathways, although they do have very similar properties to caffeine. The way they achieve their benefits is quite different. So combination of stimulants, very cool and quite synergistic, and that's what's in it. So we have got tons of ingredients for pumps, tons of things in there proven for mental focus, for muscular endurance, for oxygenating blood cells as well. We've got the trifecta of stimulants. So all in all, on paper, this looks like quite a good complete pre-workout. Definitely a complete pre-workout with 25 grams of ingredients in here, a 25 gram scoop I should say. There's a lot. Let's mix them up and go over some of the effects of this as well. So it comes in 2 flavors in the Aussie market at the time of this review. They are flavors that are the most popular in ABC. So pineapple strawberry, and this here, Australian gummy snakes, otherwise known as killer pythons if you're a kid in Australia. That is 1 scoop. That line that you can see on there, which I'm not sure if you can quite see, hopefully that picks it up, that is where an actual serve is if you're looking for a bit of inside word on serving sizes on scoops. So I'm going to throw, since this is really for taste purposes, I'm going to put 1 scoop because I don't want to be roasted, and it's about 10:30 at night doing this. Do not need any more stimulants at this time of day. So got that in around 400 mils of cool calm H2O. You will note that this has no artificial colors. Core don't use artificial colors. I personally really like that. It doesn't really serve a purpose in the product. So we definitely want some artificial flavors, definitely, but the colors don't do anything. So it's got that milky looking texture. Looks not too fresh, but smell is pretty good. It smells really good. It's got a really cool. If you're a kid and you grew up in Australia, you know what a killer python is, a gummy lolly, or candy, or whatever you crazy Americanos call it. This smells like liquefied pythons. So The initial flavor is very, very good. It does have, to be honest, it does have a bit of a tart sort of chalkiness about it, but the flavor is pretty damn good. There's a lot of active ingredients. It's just a little chalky, but there's choline, there's citrulline, there's teacrine, dynamine. These are all disgustingly bitter ingredients. Overall, I think the flavors are quite good. Pineapple strawberry is good as well, but my pick of the litter is definitely the Australian gummy snakes plus Australian Aussie gummy snakes. Why not? So if you like if you're fussy on flavors, the flavors are quite good. I do hear the word that there is a crystal star candy that's also coming to Australia very soon as well, so looking forward to trying that out. Moving right along to the effects, which is exactly why you are taking this here Core Fury X. You want something that's going to get you fired up to crush it in the gym. On paper, very, very good. Personally, I found it to be a little bit overstimulation. One scoop wasn't enough, 2 scoops was absolutely too much. I went straight like this. I went straight into the overstimulation zone. Now I did anticipate that and did expect that. 350 caffeine plus the teacrine plus the dynamine for me personally is far too much sauce, too many stimulants. I was thoroughly roasted to the extent that I missed the actual stimulation, didn't get that real kick in effect, and it was just way too much. So I tapered it back to having a just over a scoop, so yielding about 200 milligrams of caffeine. The dynamine would have ended up being around 150 and the teacrine maybe 80 megs. That for me was far more close to my sweet spot. Having more than that I found to be less effective. Pumps were great, absolutely. Muscular endurance was pretty good. The muscle power and strength was definitely good. But I have to be honest and say it didn't really, without the tingles and so on that you sort of associate with beta-alanine that's not in this product, I didn't feel it personally a big kick out of the product, which I did expect. I've had the combination of caffeine, teacrine, dynamine, or just caffeine, dynamine before, and it's been quite good. I don't know as to why, because I really like Core and I'm a mad Doug Miller fanboy, but it didn't kick particularly hard for me personally, just being transparent. So workout performance was good, but it was sort of a quiet achiever in terms of the actual kick to it. I will say that personally I'm not a mad caffeine fan in terms of having tons of caffeine pre-workout, so this is definitely too much caffeine for me personally. If you like high stim complete pre-workouts, you well and truly may like this, but I would definitely recommend starting at 1 scoop and tapering your dosage up to sort of find where that tipping point is and where that sweet spot is for you. So overall, pretty good, but probably not honestly a product that I would use on an ongoing basis because it was just too much caffeine for me personally. That being said, let's go on to the value for money. This is we're doing a breakdown on the 20 serve. It is $79.95, which makes it $4 a serve. It's an expensive pre-workout. It's definitely, you get what you pay for. There's a lot of ingredients in here. When you look at like dynamine and teacrine and HydroMax glycerol and the doses of them, they're all patented ingredients. They are very costly. Do know the cost of dynamine as an ingredient. It's quite an expensive one. So you get what you pay for. Core is not a cheap brand. It is good value for money, however. So when you look at what's in it, I think the value is not too bad. It's a little bit on the premium side, but I think if you're the type of person who's buying Core Fury X, you would appreciate that's what you're not looking for the cheapest product. You're looking for something that's got the best of everything, which is really what you're getting right here. So value should not be price per serve. If you're comparing this to something else, there's really not a huge amount that's on the market at present that really ticks all the boxes in those sort of doses like a Core Fury X. There's not much to compare it to. So all in all, I think the value is actually not too bad. Especially if you're using 1 scoop, you still get a lot of actives, and the value for money then is pretty damn good at $2 a serve. So 2 flavors at present, both are good. Crystal Star Candy and ABC is delish, so I would anticipate it would be just as good in this when that comes out as well. That about wraps it up. Before wrapping up, sleep. No issues really. When I had 2 scoops, honestly I could not sleep for the life of me. I just had mad anxiety and it was way too much. So highly recommended, start at 1 serve and slowly taper up. If you find that what 1 scoop ticks the box for you, stick with that. There is quite a bit of, collectively, a lot of stimulants in the product. You want to find it. The idea is to have minimum amount for max effect. So start low, work up, stop when you found the sweet spot. Don't overdo it like I did. Not recommended. Core Fury X is available right now at Spartansuppz.com. It is $79.95. Free shipping anywhere in Australia over $100, and we also do worldwide shipping for just $9.95. You can also pick up Core Fury X at any Spartansuppz retail location as well. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button down below. Drop a comment with your feedback on Fury X if you've tried it already. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest content. Thank you again for watching. I'm Patrick from Spartansuppz.com.